this week's media news with me, Gareth O'Connor. You'll remember last week I said that the next thing in a sort of social app space was a return of video. And of course I spoke about social cam, 40 million users worldwide, and video, nearly 30 million users worldwide. But I just wanted to highlight and get you to go and have a look if you like, but you should, you know. Brands are starting to take note, and why the hell not? If there's an audience there, every brand's looking for an audience, turn that audience into your consumer. Hey presto, you've cracked it. Here are a few brands. Dan von Furstenberg, the wonderful guys at Red Bull, GE, Warner Brothers Records, Southwest Airlines, and the Muppets. A wide range of brands. Some, of course, you have a wealth of phenomenally good content. Red Bull, of course, Warner Brothers Records, music videos, and of course the Muppets. But they're brands who have, well, done a wonderful job of engaging with their target audience. And you may wonder why. Why they're doing so well? Because they fully understand their audience. And the likes of GE, a lot of their stuff is considerably dull to the masses because it actually gets right down to the whole turbine and how they produce energy and interesting for some people, but of course they've found their audience and they've stuck with that, and they're producing great content that engages that audience. They produce content that entertains, they produce content that gives value, they produce content that's high quality, and most importantly, they're producing content that's shareable. The whole thing about video and social cam is that you can give people content to watch, and of course they can share it amongst their friends and social groups. But you may think to yourself, what's the point? Why bother? It's safe to say that producing good content for a brand, well, it's not safe to say, it's fact, it drives brand likability and brand preference. If someone doesn't like your brand, they're not actually going to buy anything from you. Pretty much. Particularly when you think of the amount of choice that people have. So driving good or ensuring that your brand likability and preference is as high as it can possibly be is a phenomenally powerful tool for any brand. Because it in turn allows you not just to make sales, it allows you in turn to drive brand loyalty and brand advocacy. Which if you can nail that, you're laughing. It's saying, look at just Red Bull. I mean, it's a brand who has driven phenomenal brand likability, phenomenal brand preference, and the brand loyalty and brand advocacy that they have is absolutely phenomenal. You think they just make an energy drink, but they've interweaved themselves in the lives of so many people through sports mainly, but again, they produce a shed load of wonderful good content that engages their audience. Are you thinking about mobile yet? You really should. The phone industry say the future is mobile. Telecoms, broadcast TV and radio, the internet industry, the advertising industry, money and banking, computers, media and news media and newspapers, and social media. If you are any of these things and you're not already working on a mobile strategy or thinking of mobile, you really, really should. The phone industries are currently being disrupted by mobile, and it's only going to get worse. Retail, travel, restaurants, schools and education, healthcare, hotels, governments and politics, farm and forestry and fishing, and any home or home tech manufacturer. In NZ, some may say we're a little slow to react, particularly when you look at the amount of retailers who still don't have online retail stores or even an online catalogue. However, it is time to start thinking about mobile and taking it seriously. You really, really must. Because if you don't have a mobile strategy now, you pretty much don't have a strategy. So if you do not, please come and speak to us, because we can certainly help you in this space. Facebook have a problem. And really, it's how they fill the advertising hole left by the 50% of their members who are running a social site on their mobile. I have been speaking about this for a few weeks now, but it is a big thing for them. And last week they said they were going to launch a web browser, which of course may help fill this hole. And I've also heard today that they may be trying to launch their own smartphone, which again of course may help. At least it's a platform that people are accessing their social network on, so they can sell their device to help them access that platform, then so be it. But really it's how they monetize that which is the big issue. And it's a difficult road they've got to travel on now, because to shove all of the advertising onto a mobile device is going to be very difficult. But it's all very Google, if you ask me. Because Google, started themselves off just as a search engine. But they have done things very well, I must say. Not so much in the social space, which of course Facebook do have an added advantage over them because they have a huge and very successful social platform. But really, I think from a Facebook point of view, they really need to start sticking to their core competencies and focusing on bettering those competencies before they start branching out into other things. It's like Apple. Don't do loads of things averagely. Just do things that you can do bloody well and leave everything else to someone else who can do it bloody well. Just a thought. Speaking of getting into the mobile game, the UK has just received its first Intel-powered smartphone. Last week, I mentioned obviously HP making more plays into the mobile space. But yeah, there it is with the guys at Orange. But yeah, an Intel-powered device. Good for them. A homeless network trialing something new in the UK and globally, but I think it's a very nice idea. Since 1994, that's supposed to say, not 1194, the International Network of Street Papers, which was started in Glasgow, has worked with the homeless to sell locally produced newspapers or magazines as a way for them to earn a living. Good on them, I say. Well, now they've got a new idea that they're using QR codes where, of course, you still have a person handing out these, and they pay the person $2, but then you can use a smartphone to download the magazine, which is kind of cool. And what they've said, it was important to maintain the personal face-to-face model of the Street Papers initiative, at the same time as being prepared for the digital future. Quite right too, I say. But a very nice idea for still getting money, but also moving with the times. Multi-screen mania, yes, from the Internet Advertising Bureau. This is kind of cool. So this is red equals 2 screens, TV and computer. Green 3 screens. And blue 4 screens. So that's some with TV, computer, smartphone, and tablet. Using another device while watching TV. 53% of people. And then, of course, if you've got multiple devices, 4 devices, you're 65% of people will watch TV whilst being connected to the internet. Quite a lot, but even when you think of the person who only has a TV and computer, half of them will be using another device whilst watching television. Percentage of television viewing on a TV set. Granted, if you only have a TV and computer, most of it is on a TV. But when you look at people who have multiple devices, still, granted, most of their TV is watched, but it's significantly lower as more and more people are starting to watch TV on demand or on a tablet or even on their smartphones nowadays, particularly when you look at ones with big screens. Likelihood of using social media while watching TV. Oh, I'm going backwards. How consumers become aware of new products. Still, though, when you think of the online world taking the lead, the offline world is still where people find most of their products. However, those tech-savvy individuals are more and more finding more of their new product information and service information online. Likelihood of recalling ads. This I find quite interesting. So the people who have multiple devices who are doing more things whilst watching television are more likely to take in messages from ads that are placed within their favourite shows. Which is kind of a good thing. So even those people who are multitasking are still taking ads. So don't worry too much about your ad being missed. Google Places gets the Plus treatment. Yes, indeed, in the US. I'm not sure if it'll make any difference to user numbers of Google Plus. But Places, Google Places has been given the Google Plus treatment. But from there, I guess it makes kind of sense for them. Social, local, mobile, all linked together. Yes, indeed, it is a new buzzword, but it does make sense, right? Social is more and more moving into local space, connecting with people who are in the vicinity near to you, and of course getting everything sent to your mobile whilst in that local vicinity seems like the way to go to me, but we shall see if that makes a difference to Google Plus numbers. Speaking of social, us Kiwis, we love it. 63% of Kiwis are actively using social media. 59% follow at least one brand. Amazon and TradeMe lead the way with around 30%, which is pretty high. Airlines are around 26%, so Air New Zealand makes up the bulk of that. And retail stores, 24%. Most people are linking with these people so they can try and get good deals, I might add. And for brands with a presence, it's seen as a positive, with 37% saying it is not only a positive, it makes the brand appeal to them more. So worthwhile if you're not in this space, get in it. 43% of Kiwis have a smartphone, and 73% of those people are using it to access social sites, which is massive. 62% of Kiwis say Facebook is the site they go to most often. If you care for Twitter, only 2% of people say Twitter is. 51% of Kiwis are logging in every single day to Facebook. We really do love it. LinkedIn is most popular amongst 40 to 59-year-olds, who are 3 to 4 times more likely to share and update information as opposed to anyone under the age of 40. Only 23% of those surveyed had even heard of MySpace. Ah, bad times for MySpace. Newspapers still going strong in NZ. The latest readership and circulation figures are now out, and they show the readership and circulation remain fairly stable, which is which is awesome for the print industry because I guess around the world a lot is struggling, but of course more are moving into digital space. So it's how you combine print and digital to give you a total readership and circulation. But on the bad side, ad revenue is in decline. So newspapers lost $42 million in ad revenue in 2011, which is pretty bad still. 582 million isn't bad, that's how much made last year. But for the first time ever, TV passed them. I'll have you know, Cadbury do something nice, they get all 3D chalky on us. Not the best image, but nice to see people just doing stuff, doing some stuff. Let people experience stuff, create some experience for people to enjoy. The 3D chalk art, affectionately known as Choco Coaster 3000, part roller coaster, part chocolate accelerator, was created over a few days by two of Australia's best chalk artists. And you could have gone and seen that at a Wynyard Quarter over the weekend, but it's nice for people to create experience for other people to enjoy. Speaking of that, ads are always a good way of doing that. And here are the most shared ads of me. Granted, it helps if you're Nike Football and you've got loads of football stars to be in your ad. But the thing is, you know, it doesn't always have to be like that. Like TNT, a dramatic surprise in a small square, which was launched on the 11th of April. 34 million times it's been watched now. And all it was creating an experience that was enjoyed by a handful of people, filming it, so that experience could then be joined by millions of people all over the world. Perfect, right? So it's that sort of thing. Don't get caught up with experiential being a bad thing. A Copenhagen flash mob for the Philharmonic Orchestra. Kind of nice. Flash mobs have probably been done now, though, but still. It's working. Life at Random Acts of Kindness are always a winner. Apple introducing the Leap and Studio 49 with a 2-year-old dancing. But still, it's all these pieces of content being watched by millions of people. So it goes to show the power of good content. And speaking of introducing the Leap, here it is. Very Minority Report, but it's very cool. New way for you to control your computer screen, your TV screen. Cool, huh? We should move on. And lastly, this is the last thing for me this week, and it's just because I like Pugant. But this is the Copenhagen Philharmonic Flash Mob. I know it's a flash mob, you've seen it all before, but hey, it's nice. Lovely. And that's it from me. See ya.